Right, with the charities thing. So do you know what we was going on about? Like, so there's different charities, isn't there? You've got fucking British Legion, Poppy Appeal, all that. I don't understand why it's not been made law in the UK that there's only one charity for military and just combine all the funds. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I want to increase that. Why don't we this is what I said to fucking Starmer when I fucking met him. Is why do we not have like a veterans association that's funded by the government that just fucking does what the charity work does? We should veterans shouldn't. I'm going on a rant. Veterans shouldn't be fucking relying on fucking charities.
Yeah,
we should not be fucking relying on charities.
No, we should be looked after when we come out. If on a sliding scale, we should be like, right, how long you done? If you suffered any sort of trauma, whether it be physical or psychological, what can we do to set you up? What do you need from us? Is what we can offer you.
Fucking 3 kilos of cocaine.
Just give me a couple of keys, I'll be fine.
Another reason why I don't think the veteran community should be relying and leaning on charities, because charities are just a fucking money spinner.
Yeah,
they're just a fucking money spinner.
Yeah,
charities. Look at the fucking bigwigs of RBL, Help for Heroes, Not Forgotten Association, Blesma, I don't know, but yeah, look at all the big military fucking veteran, the big veteran fucking charities or military charities. All the big wigs are on fucking hundreds of £1,000s a year.
Yeah,
you tell me that. How's that fucking charity?
And what I'm finding now is literally the little charities who make barely anything are the ones that help people. So if I needed help, it'd be a little charity that turns over freaking 30 grand a year that'll reach out and help me. But the charities that make hundreds of thousands, like the British Legion, millions even, you struggle to get help off them. And I'm thinking, hang on, the little charities that help people, the big charities, but they'll pay the CEO 150 grand a year. And yet not help me with so much money so I can get established or get a deposit on a place because I've been homeless or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, pound for pound, the smaller charities do more with the money. It's as simple as that, isn't it? They might have funding of, let's say, 50 grand for the year, but you can guarantee they're going to help so many people with that 50 grand because they're running a smaller organisation of volunteers. The big ones, they just like seeing the money in the bank. I mean, RBL have got, I believe, they're one of the most wealthiest charities in the world.
Do you know their turnover is? Their turnover, it's like 9 billion.
Yeah, it's billions, mate. Billions.
Yeah, it's like their annual turnover is like £9 billion.
The thing is,
I mean, I don't like quote me on that exact number, but it is fucking astronomical.
I don't want to be sat here promoting boycotting like military charities because they do as much as we don't like how little they do it. They do help, so it would be counterproductive to do that. However, receipts are in order. It should be publicised on the website and anyone can scrutinise it. Because all it takes, there'll be nerds out there. They've got nothing better to do. That'll scrutinise the receipts. And it's like a vigilante justice system in a way. For civilians to just be able to fucking double check that everyone's fucking playing the game.
Almost like fucking same policy should be fucking applied to politicians.
You can see the turnover. You can see the turnover of charity, the turnover, the outgoings on salaries, etc., and then what they've used the money for. So say this charity makes £1 million a year, 300 grand goes on wages. Then what have they done with the rest of that money? And then we should be able to see and go, actually, they've spent so many hundreds of thousands helping people. And if they look and go, actually, they've paid their own wages, they've paid the bills, and they've only put 100 grand into actually helping soldiers or veterans. Yeah, that's where you know.
The theory of it, in my opinion, is if it's, I don't know what the actual definition of charity is, but I'm pretty sure it means like volunteer work to a degree. Like volunteer, so pretty much it should mean not being expected a reward for helping someone. That's pretty much it. So if CEOs are in charge of charities to a degree, it should be for little amounts of money or for nothing at all. It should be out of the goodness of the heart. It should be like it should be. I'm trying to think of what the fucking phrase is, but like the bigger picture sort of thing.
Yeah, I think with the charity work as well, what people got to try and understand is that you need a solid structure to run the charity, which is usually paid staff, but it should be minimum wage, shouldn't be a big wage. And because I work for charities as well, so I understand how it works, but I can see both. I'm not condoning the amount of money some charities spend, but I think sometimes volunteers are brilliant because they give up their time for so much. but you can never rely on a volunteer.
No, you can't.
And if you've got a core structure of staff within a charity to keep the lights on, and you have a volunteer network around that doing the groundwork, like maybe like SAFA do with the caseworkers and such like, then you've got a good organisation. But this thing about paying CEOs 150 grand a year, that's bullshit. They shouldn't need that. A CEO should be someone that has a job or a solid income already, and is appointed as a CEO. That's their appointment.
Almost like a reservist sort of status.
Yeah,
but
I understand they've got to be paid something, but not. You don't want to work for charity. But I'm going to work for charity for 150 grand a year. That to me is not charity.
No, that's 15 people who've not been helped, isn't it?
While I'm on the process of fucking ranting,
I've got a rant
about fucking charities. Right, what pisses me off most as well about the military charities is they're all staffed by fucking civvies.
Yes,
have never fucking served.
It should be a veteran. It should be veterans 100%.
So I can elaborate on that. So we'll call it Charity X, and it only employs veterans. With that, you have got people coming out of the military fresh with their own experiences, and maybe that's all they know. So when they come out and they're employed by this charity, they've got the ideas of what they believe would help them because they are within the system while getting paid for it. And then say they want to become a underwater fucking knife fighting welder. They're within they're within the charity. They can go, right, well, we've got the funding for that. So really glad you've put your input in. Let's fucking put you on the outside. Next veteran comes into the charity, and it's a self-help system. I don't understand why that's not a thing.
It's like our podcast. Our podcast is a military type veteran podcast. But a lot of veterans listen to it because they like hearing our rants and our having people on and stories. Because even though we're no longer in the forces, it was a big part of our life, and it helps us to still have that community and that like family and brotherhood. And so that's why we have veterans listen to our podcast. It's because they like our community and they like having that bit of connection with the forces still. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's needed, mate. It's needed, isn't it? I mean, if I'd have had stuff like this when I come out of the forces back in '95. I would have been less likely to get involved in what I was doing because I'd have had a connection to go to. All we had then was something, I think it's Forces Reunited was the only platform there was to link in with the people that you served. You just detach yourself from the reality, don't you? You just end up going off on a tangent and you're gone.